Hey, what's up, gamers? Skelemistic. I am here today in the Nibbleheim Mines in front of the instant sigil for the Marshfellow gold key boss. Today, in this video, we're going to show you the 3-round win strategy to beat this boss so that you might end up with that marshmallow wand that you've been trying to get, or maybe even that bunny mount, or the rumored chocolate moose mount. I know but firsthand that the marshmallow wand drops here because I've gotten several of them. I've gotten one for life, and I forget what the other school is, but anyhow, I've gotten a couple of them already. I know that the bunny mount drops here because I've seen the bunny mount, and the chocolate moose mount, though I haven't seen it, is rumored to drop here as well. So if you're looking for those kind of things, you should come down here and just beat this marshmallow fellow into, well, a soft, juicy... Never mind, he's already soft. Never mind. Anyway, you should just come down there and beat this marshmallow guy and get your stuff if you can. So far as I have noticed in the other drops, because I was just looking for the wand and the mount drops, so far as I've noticed in these other drops, you can get a wooden skeleton key or a stone key or a gold key here. And other than that, it's all pretty much, to be honest, standard fare drops. Nothing you really, really want. But if you are looking for those things, this is the guy to come and get it from. Or if you're just looking for the bragging rights, this is the guy to come and get it from. This 3-round strategy is going to be as follows. There are certain conditions to make this work. And to be honest, this 3-round win strategy is only about, I'd say, 85 to 90% effective. Every once in a while, a snafu or a thing will happen that's not along our tracks here. There is no real 100% always win strategy as of yet for this boss. Let's start with the schools. In position 1, if you can get it, you really do want a balanced player or someone who can cast a protected blade storm. All right. Position 2 can be any school, so long as they can cast elementals and cleanses and things like that. Whether they be TC cleanses or not, it's not important. In position 3, you can have any school pretty much, again, same thing, cleanses and elementals. In position 4, for the hitter, this is the hitter's position. This is an important position as well. I did this as a storm. You may want to do this as a storm as well. I don't see, being as this is a fire boss, where a fire would be particularly effective. But again, if you want to burn the gold keys experimenting, you can try whatever other school you want. But you do need a high damage output, a really high damage output. Let me go ahead here and pop the heads-up display on just so you can see my stats here. I didn't want to put the heads-up display on, but I'm kind of going to have to, I guess. All right, this is my stats. On this currently, this should read 167. I don't have my Gulcher on for the purposes of this video. Okay, resistance is not so much of a problem, but make sure your accuracy, make sure you can hit every single time. My critical is up here. It isn't totally vital, but it's really helpful if you can critical every single time. All right, block, again, not really important. Armor piercing, blah, 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 blah. Healing, none of that's really important. What you're really focusing on here is the ability to damage and the ability to do a critical if you can. All right, so there's mine. Let me go ahead now, and I'm going to run you through. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me help. Before I do that, I reminded myself. Before I do that, this is the cards that you're going to want, or the player in position 1 is going to want, right here. Okay, I gave you time to have a decent long look at that. This is the cards for position 2 that you're going to want to have right here, no matter what school the player is. Okay, there's a good look. Now this is the cards for position 3 that you're going to want to have. Okay, now I want to let you see my own cards. Okay, this is the cards in my regular deck. I've got Potent Trap, Galvanic Field, Glowbug Squall, Sirens, and Storm Trap. In my treasure cards, I just have Gargantuans to make sure that I can enchant either the sirens or the bugs, whichever I happen to get, although most of the time it's sirens. That's all I have in my deck. Now, the reason I showed you these decks, it is very important. In fact, the strategy won't work without it, honestly, to have these cards and just these cards. Don't have one of those stuffed suitcase pack full of decks where you may or may not get the card you want when you need it. It is vital to this strategy that you get the card that you need on the turn that you need to have it. Vital, absolutely. All right, so just have these cards in each of the 4 players' decks that we've shown. Right? All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and run the clip of our battle so you can see what we did and what order. That also is vital. Make sure player 1 is in spot 1. Make sure your player 2 is in spot 2. Make sure your player 3 is in spot 3. And your hitter is in spot 4. In that order. You line them up behind the railroad tracks or whatever it is you got to do so you guys can get in there in the right order. And you want to go in close enough together that they're in the right positions, because if your 4th guy lags, well, then he won't be in the first round, and it's absolutely vital he needs to be. Everything here needs to run like clockwork to make this strategy happen. Let me go ahead and show the actual battle now.
What the hell you play? What the hell you play? What the hell you play? the hell you playing?
Okay, that's the battle, that's what happened, and that's how we did it. Now, a few ground rules and a few things that I want to talk about aside from the battle that may happen. I said at the beginning of this video that it's only 85 to 90% effective simply because there's a lot of unknowns. The fire boss could cast a multi-smoke screen. One of the minions could cast bull. There's just any number of things that can happen that will make this not work for you. Things that you need to watch out for. You really want to go first. Your team, it's not absolutely vital that you go first, but a win is not guaranteed if you don't go first. So I would say, if you don't go first, just all of you flee and reset it. Use your dungeon recall. Come back in until you get first. That's really important. Alright, now let me go over what the spells that the players have cast here and why. Alright, the first player, as you noticed in the battle, used Blade Storm right away. You want to use Blade Storm first as your first cast spell so that the caster receives the mana burn instead of the Blade Receiver. Because you don't want your hitter being out of mana by the time the third turn rolls around. You must use at least 2 blades before putting down any traps. That's why your guys are casting the blades first. And the first trap has to be a feint, because the Juju will remove the feint if you put it on before the 2 blades, and the boss will remove all the traps after being feinted. Make sure you're using an indemnity feint for this whenever you do feint. On the third blade, it's important to aegis it so the boss doesn't remove the blades you actually want from it. It can only be a 3-stack blade as well, either elemental or spirit, whichever one you're happening to use for your hitter. It's important to have more than 1 cleanse. You saw all those cleanses in the player's TCs. It's important to have more than 1 cleanse just in case the death mob casts the mass weakness. If it's a low-end weakness, you're probably fine. But if it's a virulent plague, you really want to cleanse that off before your hitter hits. Okay, the next one is, you really, really ought to kill within 3 rounds. If you can't, you more than likely will fail. It's not 100% that you'll fail, but it's more than likely you will fail if you don't kill within those first 3 turns. Because the shadow dot that the boss puts on will, whoever it is that the shadow dot hits, the shadow dot will do 6,000 damage, give or take, plus 100% pierce. And pretty much, if you've had any other hits, the hitter, if he's the one he's a target, won't live through it, and you'll fail anyway. Alright, I do believe that's pretty much covered it all. Now, at this point, I want to tell you all another very important thing. My friend Thomas, who is like, he is a Wizard 101 strategy pro. He really is. I understand this stuff, and I can figure it out given time. But Thomas is a real genius, and I tell you what, can look at something, and in about 3 minutes, okay, you need to do this, 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 and this, and this. So I have really got to give him credit for work with this strategy. Okay, guys? If you, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to put a link to Thomas's channel, even though he hasn't made videos in a while. I'm going to put a link to Thomas's channel in the comments below. By all means, go hit Thomas up, say, hey, dude, thank you very much. You just saved my life, man. Thank you. Or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but you know what I mean, okay? Okay. All right, guys, this is the video for the 3-round kill strategy for the Marshfellow Gold Key Boss. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, yell my name to the heavens, name your firstborn Son or daughter, Scout works good for either one. It really does. And if you actually do that, you're crazy, because what you're going to have is a child who grows up early learning how to fight in school. So, no, I'm just kidding. Don't really do that. Don't do it. You can name your dog, your cat, your gerbil, whatever it is you want to name. But yeah. All right, I'm going to kind of rambling on here, so I'm going to just finish it up now. Guys, whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace.